but basically they're writing the ratio. So A to B, we have 1 to 1, we have 1 to 2, we have 1 to 3, and they're just going through and doing the sprint. And after the 2 minutes, let's say they get 25 correct, they'll draw a line, they'll put their correct answer, and then they'll go ahead and work on the rest without the timer, and then they go back to their Google Classroom, open sprint B, and do the same thing. Hey guys, welcome back to the Math Dojo. My name is Michelle. For those of you who are new here, I'm a middle school math teacher from Los Angeles, and today we are going to be talking about my schedule for remote teaching, I guess. I'm going to walk you through what I do on a day-to-day. You're going to look at what types of technology I use for my students and my Google Classroom. I do have a few student tutorials for how to set these technology tools up, and I'll link them down below if you're interested in also using them for your students. If you are looking for ideas for your online learning, or if you're just looking for new inspiration, I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, let's get into it. But okay, so I wanted to start off today's video with showing you guys what I'm doing and how my days are planned out over distance learning. So what I do is, if we just look in their classwork assignment, I'm testing this out to see how well I like it, but I'm setting up all of their topics by day. So they can go to the day and they can see all of their assignments. The only drawback to this is when I do post an assignment for the whole week, it only shows up in one day. It does, however, come when they view their work, they can see what assignments are coming up due. So I do teach my students to do that if this is the layout that I'm going to keep. But let's go ahead and take a look. So the daily agenda, I post about an hour before class so they can go in, they can set up their journal if they want. So what this is the morning meeting section. So I want them to join my morning meeting, and what it is a Menti word cloud. So I would just click there, and then I would enter the code, or the students would enter the code, and it would prompt them with a question. And what it does is it makes a word cloud based on their answers. So if I say, like, how are you feeling today, and they put 3 words, I think I limit them to three answers. But they put, like, I'm feeling pumped, I'm feeling a little excited, and I'm feeling kind of nervous, or something along those lines. And the more students say the same word, the bigger the word gets. And I mean, you guys know how word clouds work. So that is sometimes what I do if we're not playing a team building activity. So after they do the morning meeting, they have a sprint. So they would just, it's the link, it takes them to their Google Classroom assignment, and the sprint is, I use Cami, so I have them do sprint A first, and I just always have the directions attached for them in case they need to review. But they go ahead and open sprint A, and then they would open with Cami. If this is not here, then they would use the 3 dots, open in a new window, and then that would take them to this new window that says open with and annotate with Cami. Either one would work, but sometimes my students don't see that blue button, and so we've had to troubleshoot it that way. So you can walk your students through that if they need. But basically, the directions say what they need to do, and then they have, they set their timer for 2 minutes, but basically they're writing the ratio. So A to B, we have 1 to 1, we have 1 to 2, we have 1 to 3, and they're basically just going through and doing the sprint. And after the 2 minutes, let's say they get 25 correct, they'll draw a line, they'll put their correct answer, and then they'll go ahead and work on the rest without the timer, and then they go back to their Google Classroom, open sprint B, and do the same thing. The directions are down there, and they can open it with Cami, and then they would go ahead and fill out sprint B with the same 2 minutes. After the timer is up, let's say they get to 33 this time, which is great. So they got 33 correct. And they improved. So the first time they got, I think we said 25, so they would just work on finding the difference. So they would have 33 minus 25, or they can just count, like I have these 7 or 8, right? So I would have plus 8. So that's the sprints, and then they have a couple of minutes to do those. And then for those students, so I'm going to go back to the daily agenda. So they need to do the sprints and have those turned in, and then we meet up in groups. So if they're not in group 1, 3, and 5, then they don't need to come back to the meeting. They just know to start their EdPuzzle if they're in group 2 and 4. Okay, they can get to their EdPuzzle through the link, or they can come. Well, the link just takes them back to their classroom, and they would go to the EdPuzzle video. Normally, I would have a video lesson for this tutorial. I didn't, so I just set up one that that was already made. And every time they start a EdPuzzle video, I have them write in their physical math journals. They have to write the date, the title, and the page number in their table of contents. So once they get their math journal set up, which it says right here, then they go to the EdPuzzle video, and I have little notes for them. So they needed to just record what's in black, and then they would move on. Okay, so I'm just gonna put skip for now. Normally your students won't be able to skip the questions. Well, the notes they just read, but any type of open-ended or multiple choice question, they won't be able to skip. They can't skip through the video. So I love EdPuzzle. I pre-record my videos with this little this little desk setup here that I have. So I put my phone up here and it records what I'm doing on paper, and then I upload it to the computer. So then all of these dots down here are either notes or open-ended questions. So if I click right here, it's an open-ended question. It says how many parts are there in this whole pizza. So I would count the number of parts, and I would hit 8 and submit. And the good thing about EdPuzzle is when they're done, I can, as a teacher, can view their responses. If it's an open-ended question, they won't be able to see their response, but I will be able to see their responses. If it's a multiple choice question, right when they click submit, it gives them their grade, whether they got it correct or what the correct answer was. Okay, so let me just try to find a multiple choice question to show you. No, that's an open-ended. Give me 1 second. Maybe this one is multiple choice. Open-ended. Come on, Michelle. I did want to show you multiple choice, but it's all right. You know, it happens here. Why don't I just, can I click here? You can. Let me see if I can click here. No, but we can do, was it 1336? It looks like this one. Yeah, see, there you go. You just got a problem solved. So what is the ratio of green pepper slices to the whole pizza? And then they would have to find their multiple choice. Let's say they clicked 4 to 8. Okay, and they submitted their answer. Oh, okay, well, there you go. So it would say that they were correct. I wanted to do it wrong, but I didn't even look at it. So if they were to put 4 to 1, then this box would have been red, and it would have had a green arrow right here, like it does. And yeah, I mean, you guys get the point, right? So if you don't use EdPuzzle, I really suggest that you do. It's really, 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 really great. All you have to do is pre-record. It takes the amount of time you would take on Zoom teaching a student a lesson, same amount of time you would do it on your own, and then they can pause, rewind, rewatch, and it's been helping my kids a lot. So yeah, so that's EdPuzzle. Then they have to go in their digital interactive notebooks. They have another link to their digital interactive notebooks. As far as how I have them turn things in, I can make a separate video on part 2 of the digital interactive notebooks, but I just want to show you right here. If they view this assignment, what they have to do is they have to complete pages 5 and 6 in their digital interactive notebook. They have to take a screenshot of each page and turn in the 2 screenshots to this. So they would add or create. They would add or create a file, and they would find the screenshot that they took of the file. Sometimes I have them, if they need to do a lot of work in their math journals, I also have them include a picture of their math journal. So let me just show you really quick. And I did get this digital interactive notebook from Slides Mania. So, oh my goodness, she has like a ton of amazing, amazing slides. Sorry, I forgot. I do that a lot. I don't finish my sentences, but page 5 and page 6. So they would come here, finish the ratio problems. I have these points here so that they can plot their points if they want to. I should have done it that way. And anytime that they see red, whether it be red lines or red circles, they know that they can go in and annotate. I've taught my students to always view in 50% so that they can actually see and work with the thing. So yeah, like I said, I can go through a whole digital interactive notebook later. If you guys like, let me know down in the comments. But right here on page 5 and 6, after they're done working, they take a screenshot, they go back to their Google Classroom, add or create a file, and then submit those 2 files. Okay, so that's pretty much it on what I have them do. Not every day is the same. A lot of times I have them working on an activity more extensively in their digital interactive notebooks, or I give them a PDF worksheet to do on Kami that they have to annotate on. So everything is different each day, but pretty much what I have here is routine as far as the daily agenda, where they can find their links. Oh, and then also what I wanted to touch on with the agenda is if they were in groups 1, 3, and 5, then they would be in breakout rooms in small groups with the instructors. So every day it's different. So maybe one day we would see 1, 3, and 5. The next day we see groups 2 and 4. But some days we are blessed to have 3 instructors in the room. So we would have me and my assistant with the SPED teacher pulling out her kids. So like I said, we're really blessed to have that. If you guys don't have as many adults in the room, you guys can utilize breakout rooms and have the rest of your students on an EdPuzzle or the rest of your students on an online learning tool. So I hope you guys got some ideas. I start off with the daily agenda. Some kind of morning meeting activity is linked. Oh, there's this game that I really love. I'll make a, I have a list of video ideas that I want to come up with next. And oh my goodness, I have so much for engagement, and the kids really like are pumped, and they are like, it gets their creative juices flowing, and they're ready for the day. And it's very quick. You can start it and stop it, and it's amazing. So if you guys are excited for that, let me know. Give this video a like if you learned something, and yeah, I'll see you guys right now. All right, you guys, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. And like I said in the beginning, I hope you got some inspiration if you're looking for something new. And that's all I have. So like I told you, I'm I have a long list of videos that I want to do, but if there's something that you're interested in seeing first, please let me know down in the comments. If there's anything that you need, just let me know, and yeah, we'll make it happen. So that's all for today. All right, so as always, go out there and enjoy the rest of your day and do something great. Bye, guys.